So these are some of the sample queries that I set up for my project. So the theme of my project is that basically it's the user is allowed to ask a question about QC professors, and basically it's the system. The app is gonna search through like the raw latest student reviews. Um, that's gonna use as context, and then it's gonna provide like objective answers based on that. Um, so here I have some sample queries here that we can test out and use. So he will provide a question, click on ask, and here provides an answer. As you can see here, it's directly citing the sources that it's using. In this case, it's just one source, Waxman, and I also made it where like it would specify it like directly here as well. So here's an example, and here it says response saying that here it's responding saying that based on the reviews based on this source file, uh, it's saying that this professor does not allow students to use electronics, and it goes on to explain further. And also like directly like references like the exact like review text from a specific review. Um, so here's another one. So how it's working is that just to explain, it's embedding the query the user provides, the question. Based on that, it's gonna so it's gonna vectorize it and then project it into the vector space, and then we're gonna use this to perform like some semantic search. And then we're gonna retrieve like so here's example output. We're gonna retrieve like um in this case I specified k to be equals to 5, so we're gonna retrieve like the top 5 most like relevant chunks, and we're gonna provide that as context for the for the LLM model to use to produce the answer. So here's also another response. Um, so here is a query that performs really well, which is what I found it to be. So here it says directly reference it, and it's citing like the actual like text that the student provided in his review. Goes on to cite it. So that's a really good performing query. And it's fetching the relevant chunks because I also like provided like a set of guardrails in the system prompt so that it would only adhere to like a set of rules. One of the rules that I provided was that it would only use the context that I provided it to compute the answer, and to not use like it's like general knowledge. Um, And so that was one of the guardrails. The other one that I specified was that if the chunks that I fetched were like really irrelevant to the query, then in that case it would just return saying I just prompted to return saying that it was not able to like answer the query. So here's a bad query. The reason I say it's bad because I found out that for this query that it wasn't actually providing like the complete list of professors who teach this course, and I figured out that the reason for this is that I specified k to be equal to 5, so it's gonna fetch like the top 5 most like relevant chunks. And so it's possible that it could fetch like all those chunks could pertain to like a certain professor uh or like two in this case. Um, So it's possible that it's not going to capture all of the professors when it retrieves these chunks. So that was like one of the reasons why this I found this query to be pretty like underperforming. Um, and so to going over the evaluation report, I found that these queries were producing like the questions that I initially like created and had in mind to test it with. Um, so here, I provided the expected answers that I originally thought of them to return. And here I found that all of the actual answers that the app would produce would be like relevant and accurate. And as you see here, as you could also saw in the output, as I covered it in the walkthrough, I produced outputs like this where it cited the sources. Um, it also at times like would also cite like the date of the review. So just to reference like the get like a better idea of like more information about the review itself that it's like referring to. And yeah.